I would share the concern and the apprehension of Mr. Sushant Shireen, and I wish I could share the optimism of respected Amina ji. The fact of the matter is that the ground reality that we looked the other way and swept the problem underneath the carpet. For the first time when the PFI was brought on the radar of all DGPs was in the DGPs conference 2011 September, when all the DGs were informed that Kerala has the cadres of the PFI training their youths into unarmed combat and use of weapons and also manufacture of weapons as also explosives. We looked the other way. We did not allow them. And even today, the shameless manner in which people are defending Pakistan Zindabad slogans, people defending the sleeper cells, people saying that this protest was nothing but legitimate and democratic display of their democratic rights and democratic protest. If vandalizing public property, attacking policemen and government officials is legitimate, then I really don't know what illegitimate is. Now coming down to brass tacks, the concern of Mr. Sushant ji. We allowed this boil to fester for no fewer than 12 years. Today it has become terminal cancer. And if it is today, it calls for a major surgery. And that major surgery is ban PFI. And don't ban just the outfit. Identify every single person of the cadre, get the biometrics, Aadhaar and PAN card, so that he does not play in any other team, because they already have an escape route and ready to go and migrate into other outfits, as in the case of Ansars of Syria, who migrated to Indian Mujahideen and then to the PFI. Let us not allow the grass to grow underneath our feet. Then the sleeper cells. Then the funding. Ridhima, have you ever heard of funding of 125 crores in the bank accounts and 125 from crowd funding? This is unprecedented in the history of India. You name the problem that we had in the last 7 years, whether it is anti-CA agitation, whether it was the Delhi riots, the Bengaluru riots, the hijab controversy, you name, and the bottom line happens to be the PFI. Therefore, we have to put our act together. We have done it in the past. We have seen situations much, much worse than this. But a resolute nation must be together to fight this menace. Hindus and Muslims have to come together to fight this. Let us not make the mistake that it is the fight only of one community. It is the fight of a resolute nation against a gang of outfits, criminals and anti-national elements.
But it's also not just about the funding and the links that we're tracing back to, say, the Middle East and Pakistan. The problem is equally as far as the local logistical support that is being provided as well. Ahmad Ayaz, as per the last data, there are as many as 27 cases just in Kerala alone. Even when the Bihar module was busted, the same links were found. How are we seeing this emerge as a pattern in areas like Kerala, borders of Tamil Nadu and Kerala?
You see, PFI has been in operation for last many years. As I know, unless somebody corrects me, I don't see that there was any activity which we call as a terror activity on their part. Well, they have been saying that, or they have been doing some welfare activities. That's of course known, but there is not even a single incident where we say that they have resorted to any terror activity.
So this is exactly why I asked you this question. Let me just give you some data. Because you said this, it's exactly where I wanted to give you some data. I have some criminal records of PFI leaders. Let me first begin with Abdul Rahman. He is the PFI National Chairman, ex-SIMI National Secretary, accused of running funding nexus in the Middle East. Abdul Hamid, PFI State Secretary, ex-SIMI State Secretary, accused of planning attacks on political and religious outfits, accused of establishing arms training camps. Mohammad Saqib, PFI National Executive Member, accused of masterminding Hawala operations, also linked to Pak terror groups to fund sleeper cells. Abu Bakr, ex-PFI Chairman, accused of spearheading propaganda operations. Do you want me to continue?
No, my point of telling is that so far there is not an, where we call that they have resorted to any terror activity. So far as funding is concerned, well, the funding, if at all it is there, that needs to be seen. As to why the funding has come, where from it's coming, that of course needs to be seen, and agencies must be active on that. And also that is also to be seen, whatever data you have just shared, that also is to be seen, that what is that going to, where they are going to use it. Well, we can't say we need to support any such activity, and I don't think anybody will defend them on this account, nor they represent Muslims also. If that outfit that is doing anything which is called to be illegal, well, law should take its own course, and but it should not look that just because that being a Muslim organization, they are being targeted.
Sir, to be
There
fair,
care
with
has
so
to be
much
taken to
evidence
see that.
also, if we still have guests like you on these panels who come out and still defend it and want to still give some sort of an opportunity to outfits like
No.
PFI, then how do we come together
No.
to fight an issue which is not just a state issue or a political
No,
issue, but an
we are
issue
there to
of
fight.
national security? Tushar, this is where I want to bring you in.
No.
You have
This
people
is
like
where-
Ahmad Ayaz saying
No, we are
there are
here
no
all
criminal
together.
records. What is the
No,
evidence?
Mr. Ayaz.
No, I didn't-
Mr. Ayaz, my problem is that the 4 people on this panel and Ridhima are together. You surprisingly are not. You are saying that PFI is not a terror organization. Please tell me, in 2013, which was that organization that was nabbed by the Kerala police in Kannur for having weapons, for preparing bombs, for giving terror, training? Which was that organization? It was PFI. Which was that organization that hailed Osama bin Laden as a martyr? That was PFI. The organization has been indulging in violent protests. It's saying that we are going to target RSS and BJP workers, and you are saying the PFI is being targeted only because it's a Muslim organization. Are there no other Muslim political parties in India? From Kashmir to Kerala, there are. From Gujarat to Assam, there are enough Muslim political parties. But are any of them targeted like the PFI? No, they are not. Are any of them engaging in activities in which the PFI does? No, they are not. So please do not make this about Hindus and Muslims. And Ridhima, I want to repeat that the PFI is in a war against the Indian states. And Mr. Ayaz, the Indian state also means Indian Muslims, the moderate Muslims who the PFI will come for. So please do not make it about Hindu and Muslim and try to dilute the seriousness of the threat which the PFI poses to the national security at this point.
Ahmad Ayaz, I'll quickly let you
I
respond
never
and then I want
said
to go
that.
back to the other questions.
I will make just a small response.
Sure.
I never said that there must not be somebody criminal in it. I never said so. I said there had not been any terror activity which could be seen that
What
they
was
have
happening
done
in
it.
2013 in Kerala, sir?
There may
What
be
was
criminal.
happening in 2013 in Kerala?
If it is 13,
are preparing bombs not terrorist
now we are in
activities?
2022.
Sir,
Well,
the
we are in
members of the
2022,
PFI are
that
hurling
means
petrol
9 years
bombs.
old.
That is not a terror activity
Okay.
as per you. Mr. Ayaz, the members of the
Well,
PFI hurled petrol
That is
bombs
exactly why I
on the
said,
members
when
of
I
the
began
RSS.
the
That's
show,
not a terrorist
that this is not the
activity.
time for mollycoddling. This is the time for calling
you
a
are
spade
quoting.
a spade.
You are